Today, I want to take a few minutes and just sit down with Johnny Lee Howard. And Johnny is a professional country music recording artist. Johnny, why don't you just begin by talking about your journey to success in country music and the role that God and faith played in that?
I did have some moderate success in Nashville, recorded a couple of albums, and even got a little radio airplay. All of those things, without question, could not have been possible without God. And God came into my life back in 1996. I remember it very well. God's been there with me every step of the way. He's blessed me with gifts of writing, storytelling, a little musicianship, and also a gift, I think, of just being a blessing for other people as an entertainer. And that's certainly what I really enjoy most. Praise God for all of that.
Yeah.
About 2 years ago, I was touched in a way that I really can't explain, and this church had a lot to do with it. The ideas began to develop in my head of a production always wanted to write but didn't really know it. And I began to know it. I began to feel it. And thus today we have my show that I've written and produced and will perform here soon called Faith in Him, a gospel collection.
As you went through difficulties in your career, and was there a time that you can recall that you just kind of stopped and took inventory and really maybe it affected your faith?
Absolutely. We live in a world today. Substance is a massive problem in our society. And I certainly was not shielded from that. I had some early success with a company in 2019 that I launched called Suncoast Opry Productions. The company was charted for great success. And, I drank a little bit back then. I was always still with God, but still, sometimes when I would drink, the numbness of that, it would make you forget where your place is. Out of nowhere, despite contracts being signed and success being literally laying right at my doorstep, we were seen and presented with something in our world that, at least in my lifetime, I've never seen, and that was a pandemic of all pandemics. And COVID shut everything down in Florida. And everything that was right there, success for me, became it evaporated right before my eyes. And so, drinking became there was a lot of depression there. I will say that. Fortunately, I had help. I sought help. And I was given a chance to get myself well. But, as I started to get better, we were hit, I don't know, even harder around here with not one, but two hurricanes, as those who live around here can profess to. Fortunately, I had my foundation though, and that foundation was given to me back in 1996 from my mother-in-law at the time, Tessie, and Tessie presented me with the one and only Bible I've ever owned,
Yeah.
and that is a personally engraved Bible, the New King James Study Edition, and I think that saved me. It really did, and that book, it got me through those dark times, and here we are now.
And so God has been with you through the times of success, and He's also obviously been with you through the times of difficulty. And so now that brings us more closer to the present and the path that God has taken you on now.
I am so sober and so bright-eyed and full of love and hope and faith and grace. I finally understand what grace means, and I honestly believe, without doubt, those are gifts that have been given from above. That's a huge blessing. My wife, she stood by me.
Yeah.
By all rights, I think even a man of God would have given her a free pass to say, "No, you probably don't want to hang with that guy." But here I am, and here we are. We've made it through, and our lives are just so much better now.
Yeah, yeah. And so we'll see you soon.
Thank you so
And
so much.
great. Thank you for sitting down with us today.
Yeah.
Johnny Lee Howard.
Thank you.